Welcome back. And in the news, it says every Ijaw and so-called Niger Deltans coming here. Another eye-opening fact. Politics. The writer says, I am from Beguma in Tom George compound, but I grew up in Tumbia Kingdom. The essence of disclosing my identity is to prove to Mr. Asari Dokubo of Buguma and Mrs. Aniko Briggs of Abonema that I also am a son of Ijaw land. Once I was tender, but like the saying goes, the young shall grow. I must speak and defend my region in its true identity as given by the Opu Tamuno in heaven and not the ways of the British foreigners and the invading Fulanis. My respected brother and sister of Ijaw nation, it appears to me that you and others like you will continue to keep us in the will of the strangers of our land that our ancestors knew nothing about. Mr. Asari Dokubo once postulated that Ijaw are more Biafran than other Biafran enclave, and we believed him. Madam Aniko agreed with him because during the days of his agitation for the Biafra National Council, you never came up to refute him in that regard. You never agreed that Abonema is in Ijaw is more of Niger Delta than Biafra. But one thing led to another, and Mr. Asari is on his own out of the scene. Then Nnamdi Kanu came barely some days ago to enlighten humanity with many historical facts and figures why we are more Biafran than Niger Delta. Then you came up with your refutals and criticisms capable of causing confusion among the young generation of Ijaw that Abonema is not Biafra. Madam, I, Engineer Keribo, totally disagree with you, and I insist that Ijaw is Biafra and not Niger Delta. In like manner, Abonema is Biafra and not Niger Delta. Recall that the bite of Biafra has been in excellent existence all the way since 1525 to the middle of the 18th century, when Bonny emerged as the leading slave trading port in the Bight of Biafra, thus outpacing the earlier dominant slave ports of Elem Calabiri, also known as New Calabar. In 1881, Bakana was found. In 1882, Abonema was found. In 1884, Buguma was found, and Tombia was founded in 1885 at its present settlement. The Okirikas were existing since the 17th century. I mentioned but just few. According to history, the King of Britain in 1875, even far into 1914 amalgamation of the North and South, sent his representative as a consul, and the kings and chiefs signed an agreement, and we were then known as Biafra. So how come today that we don't bear our ancestral identity again? Rather, that which the same Britain foisted on us having seen the potency of our unity with our Igbo brothers, they gave us that insulting name, Niger Delta. Do you guys believe Niger Delta is an insulting name? Not only that, they also taught the Fulani how to sustain injury and the evil divide and rule strategy. In May 27th, 1965, Rivers State was created to cause division among us. They called us Port Harcourt, the name of a man who was a sexual pervert. Okay. As if that were not enough, they added Niger Delta garbage. What an insult to the memory of our great ancestors. I might be a small boy in your sight, but as long as breath runs in my nostrils, I will not allow myself to be labeled by the name foreigners that hate me. I am an Ijaw and I am a Biafran that God the Creator made my ancestors to be, which they passed on to me. I don't know when the conference took place, but it is deliberate. It is a deliberate effort of Mr. Wilnick of Britain to divide and weaken the potency of our unity with our Igbo brothers who share the same cultural heritage as us. Madam Aniko, do you tie two pieces of wrapper on most important cultural or traditional outings? If yes, so are the Igbo and the rest of them in the Biafra enclave. So how come you are saying we are not one people? Fulani are occupying our territories in our fishing ponds and riverine areas, and in our mangrove swamps with strategies to fulfill the ancient agenda of dipping the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean to facilitate the final conquest. And you don't say anything in that regard. Rather, you easily come on social media to refute and make nonsense of the verifiable geographical and historical facts and figures that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu makes to shame our oppressors. Madam, your elders are doing this generation a great disservice by obstructing historical evidence of who we are as a people. Madam Briggs, we are both from Ijaw, and despite that I'm from Buguma, but if I come to your compound today in Abonema and say that you are no more Aniko Briggs, but Aisha, how will you feel? Won't you do something to change the imposed name Aisha and revert to your proper identity? Well, despite whatever your reaction may be, as for me, as I'm a Biafran, whether Tumbia or Buguma, we are older than that garbage Niger Delta given to us by our enemies. Madam, in what has happened so far with the Ogoni cleanup project, will you say that justice has been done to the memory of Major Adaka Boro or the Ogoni Nine? What about the underdeveloped being witnessed even right in the heart of Abonema while the Fulani are in faraway north sucking our oil to better their lots? Governor Nyesom Wike is today battling alone with the Fulani that are coming in their droves to take over our land. What have you said or done so far to show solidarity with him? I have found nothing to concrete your efforts in that regard, not even on your Facebook wall, but you easily find it pleasurable to attack Nnamdi Kanu. Madam, with all due respect to your personality, it is too bad that you could allow this hypocrisy to continue to exist till this day. Madam, may I remind you that Mr. Frank Opigo, who was once a principal in Okirika Grammar School, is from Bayelsa State. Before the Ahira Declaration of Biafra, the old Eastern Consultative Assembly members came together to meet over the name the new republic would bear. Then Mr. Frank Opigo reminded General Ojukwu that we are all Biafrans, and that was how they adopted that name again. Now, if you accept Bayelsa, where Mr. Frank came from, as Ijaw, then why is Abonema of Rivers State not Biafra? Meanwhile, Bayelsa was carved out from Rivers State just a few years ago. Madam, the ancestors of Bakana, Buguma, and Abonema once settled in a location in the 17th to 18th century before they separated for their present settlement. So are you saying now that Mr. Asari Dokubo was wrong when he said Ijaw is more Biafra than any other tribes? Moreover, Madam, what is absolutely wrong if we fight together and Ijaw becomes a confederated region in Biafra nation? Isn't that safer for our region than living with the oppressors in Nigeria? Terminal bless Ijaw, terminal bless Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, terminal bless Biafra. So guys, what do you personally think? I mean, from what I can see here, it shows that, there's a lot of history about each state of the country and how they became that. Of course, with the amalgamation of 1914, I think from that time forwards, we have not really been teaching history. And you'd see that in a lot of Nigerian schools, they only teach, oh, we were colonized and we got our independence. And that's it. At the end of the day, if everybody knew the roots of their state and how they came to be, then I believe that people would have more of an interest in terms of wanting their land back and knowing how in what way they're being deceived or being played. So I believe it's a thing of Nigeria is so diverse that it's really a struggle for people to cooperate with each other because there's so much lost history that is basically determining what is happening now. But what is happening is that a lot of people don't even know that blank space in time, because at the end of the day, Nigeria is so underdeveloped that the minds of people straight from the jump just goes to survival mode, and Nigerians need to be in a place where we can say a majority of the people are are economically and financially empowered, where you know what, they have jobs, they can easily access education, and it's equal for everybody, and people have food to eat and shelter. It is so important. Nigeria is not at that place yet, and I believe for us to have conversations like this, we need to surpass that barrier of actually being comfortable and surviving in Nigeria. Put what you think in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.